All right, let's talk about our metabolic health. Because here's a crazy thought. How is it possible that with all our incredible medical advances, heart disease is still the #1 killer around the globe? It kind of makes you wonder, maybe we've been looking at the whole problem the wrong way.
So in this explainer, we're going to follow the breadcrumbs. First, we're going to look at a really dangerous but super common warning sign that most people just ignore. Then we'll pull back the curtain and unmask the real culprit behind it. After that, we'll dig into a powerful and honestly ancient solution, see what incredible things it does inside our cells, and I'll leave you with a simple toolkit you can actually use to start turning things around.
Okay, let's get right into it with a warning sign that so many of us just brush off. We think, oh, it's just part of getting older, or, I've just put on a couple of pounds. But what we're about to see is that it's way, way more serious than that.
We are talking about visceral fat. And according to a world-class cardiologist, Dr. Nadas, that protruding belly that's so common, well, it's a huge red flag. See, this isn't the fat you can pinch on your love handles. No, this is the dangerous stuff, deep inside, literally wrapping itself around your vital organs. It's incredibly inflammatory, and it's a direct, visible signal that your metabolism is in serious trouble.
In this statistic, this just highlights a terrifying trend. Dr. Nadas says that his patient base has completely flipped. It used to be folks over 65, but now half of his patients are younger than that. Think about that. Heart disease isn't some old person's problem anymore. It's hitting people right in the prime of their lives.
So, you have to ask, what is going on here? What's the hidden mechanism that leads to all this visceral fat and inflammation in our arteries? Well, it turns out it all points back to one single incredibly powerful hormone.
The connection, it lies in a total breakdown of how our body is supposed to manage energy. It all comes down to the relationship between the food we eat, how often we're eating it, and this one specific hormone that's just working on overdrive. A hormone that's supposed to protect us, but is now, ironically, driving us straight toward disease.
And that hormone is insulin. Now, its job is absolutely crucial. When you eat, especially carbs or sugar, your blood glucose goes up. And here's the thing. High levels of glucose are actually toxic in the bloodstream. So the pancreas sends out insulin to act like a key, unlocking your cells to get that glucose out of the blood and use it for energy. Insulin is a lifesaver, but the problem starts when that lifesaver is on duty 24/7 and never gets a break.
And this right here is the vicious cycle that traps so many of us. First, we're eating processed foods, and we're eating all the time, right? This causes constant sugar spikes. So in response, the pancreas just floods our system with insulin to deal with it all. But over time, our cells get totally overwhelmed by this constant signal, and they start to ignore it. They become resistant. So what does the pancreas do? It shouts louder, pumping out even more insulin. And it's this state of chronically high insulin that forces your body to store all that excess energy as that dangerous visceral fat.
As Dr. Nadas puts it so perfectly, this high background insulin is the real villain. It's what promotes inflammation, it's what causes fatty liver, it's what makes our blood sticky and more likely to clot, and it directly hardens our arteries. And here's the kicker. Long before anyone is ever diagnosed as diabetic, they've likely already spent a decade, maybe more, with these destructive, high insulin levels silently wrecking their health. Okay, so if chronically high insulin is the problem, then the solution has to be a way to lower it, right? And the most powerful way to do that isn't some numerical drug. It's an ancient physiological tool that our bodies are literally designed for.
Now, this slide highlights something really important. People often confuse fasting with just simple calorie restriction, but they are worlds apart. When you just cut calories but keep eating frequently, your body can go into a conservation mode, slowing your metabolism, and it might even burn precious muscle for fuel. But when you fast, when you actually give your body a break from eating, you trigger a totally different response. Your pancreas gets to rest, your insulin levels plummet, and that drop in insulin is the direct signal your body has been waiting for to finally start burning its stored fat for energy.
And look at how quickly this switch happens. After about 12 hours without any food, you've pretty much burned through all the sugar from your last meal. At that point, your body has no choice but to start tapping into your fat reserves. And guess where it goes first for that fuel? Yep, it starts pulling energy right from that highly inflammatory visceral fat packed around your organs. But this is where it gets even more fascinating, because lowering your insulin does so much more than just help you lose weight. It's like you're activating these ancient survival programs that repair and rejuvenate your entire body right down to the cellular level. So, when your body is in that fasted, low insulin state, your liver starts turning fat into this amazing alternative fuel source called ketones.
You can think of ketones as premium, high-octane fuel, especially for your brain. They burn much cleaner than glucose, producing way less metabolic exhausts, those damaging free radicals. And what does that mean? Less cellular damage and less inflammation.
Fasting also kicks on a process called autophagy, which literally means self-eating. And it sounds intense, but it's incredible. Think of it as your body's internal spring cleaning and quality control crew. Your cells go around, identify old, dysfunctional, or gunked-up parts, and they break them down, recycling them for energy or for new cellular building blocks. It is absolutely essential for keeping our cells young and running efficiently.
All right, so we've covered the why, we know the problem, and we know the solution. So how do we actually put all this powerful knowledge into practice? Let's build our anti-inflammation toolkit with some simple, actionable steps you can take to reset your metabolism.
So, step 1, and this is the most critical, is to just remove the roadblocks. You have to stop putting in the things that are driving the inflammation in the first place. This means processed foods, sugar, and refined grains, all the things that constantly spike your insulin. It also means ditching industrial seed oils, which are highly inflammatory. We also need to be smart about things like excessive fruit, and even calcium supplements. I mean, without vitamins D3 and K2 to tell that calcium where to go, it can end up calcifying your arteries instead of your bones.
Next, let's focus on what to add in. We want to absolutely load up on high-fiber vegetables. Try to get a huge variety to feed your good gut bugs. Bring in fermented foods like kefir to support your microbiome. And embrace healthy fats for clean energy in cooking. But remember, it's not just about the food. Quality sleep is non-negotiable for healthy hormones. And the right kind of exercise, like resistance training and high-intensity interval training, is amazing for making your cells more sensitive to insulin.
So here's the bottom line. Our modern lifestyle, with food available 24/7, is a complete mismatch for our ancient bodies, which are still running on software that was designed for cycles of feast and famine. Reclaiming our health really means reclaiming that lost pattern. It means understanding that giving your body a break isn't about deprivation, it's about hitting a reset button. So the only question left is, are you ready to reset the clock?